helping you to weather good and bad economies without putting retirement on hold. This is the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo. Ken and his son Nick know that creating a comprehensive financial plan can align your hard-earned life savings with your retirement goals. Consider them your retirement architects. Now, the Tumolo Financial Podcast with Ken and Nick Tumolo.
All right. The idea around taxes and what we're going to have to continue to pay in our retirement as we watch the national debt go up and up and up, guys, it's a big concern for a lot of Americans, understandably. We have talked about Roth conversions before and the move that is when you take your money that is in a pre-taxed account like a 401k or traditional IRA, you move it into an after-tax account. You pay the taxes on the money you move into your after-tax Roth. And then not only can your principal be protected from taxes, but your earnings can be withdrawn tax-free. And it seems like we've had this conversation and we have it a lot about people that are close to retirement, they're approaching retirement. But what about somebody who has already retired? Is there a cutoff age for this opportunity? And how do RMDs factor in? Ken, what do we need to know?
It's actually math.
Okay.
It's not an age. But you can say age factors into the math. So I guess there is an age. But I'll tell you this. I've had people come in here when they're, let's say, 60, and more time always equals a better result. I shouldn't say always, but most of the time it does, because it's just doing a Roth conversion for some just doesn't make any mathematical sense.
Okay.
And we got to point it out, and then they decide, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But it's really putting the math into it to make it make sense. And I'm going to tell you something. This was back around when Nick, like 2019, 2020. We had a guy come in here, and his wife and him, the two of them had done a Roth conversion, and basically made a bunch of mistakes.
No.
One, and the crazy thing is they had an advisor too, but it was just an investment advisor. It wasn't anyone that did any planning. So we'll say the advisor they were working for probably wasn't the proper person to talk to.
Okay.
And he goes, yeah, my advisor said go see the accountant, and he goes, I never went and saw the accountant. So,
okay.
But what they did was they converted a whole bunch of money, and they were over 65. Mm-hmm. And when you convert a certain amount, either way, when you convert money, it hits your tax return. Mm-hmm. They converted so much money that it even created a Medicare premium for them of about $500 a piece. So it was like a $12,000 mistake, because 500 times 2, because there's 2 people, times 12. And
$500 every month?
Yeah. So it was $1,000 extra dollars to Medicare every month.
And so okay.
It compounded.
Yeah.
And when I talk about math, it also compounded the tax piece of it. They're just in the high tax bracket.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things we couldn't undo and fix for someone. Really what they did was they just basically overpaid the IRS by so much, and it's so hard to make up for what they did.
Which is so tragic, because they were trying to save themselves from that.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. They're like, oh, yeah, Roth conversions, we should be doing them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the way you did it.
Oh, no.
Normally do it by planning, and optimizing tax brackets is the best way for me to word that. We would have saved them so much money in taxes and actually set them up the right way. And I will tell you this, I had someone say it to me the other day, and I get this question a lot. Mm-hmm. People come in and they'll say to me, oh, are we going to make more money with you in the investments? And I'll go, well, it's more about the planning.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you a secret. The majority of advisors out there, majority of the portfolios they run based on risk profile will perform about the same.
Got it.
And kind of let that sink in. And if you're a conservative investor and you're averaging 5%, most advisors are going to average around there. Mm-hmm. So if you can actually do some tax planning and keep some more money in those accounts, think about it. More money in the account, same return equals more money.
Yeah.
So the crazy math piece of it, and the best way I can put it is you should be working with a retirement planner that actually takes the taxes into consideration. Because at the end of the day, and I will stress this, and I'll probably get the question again because I get it all the time.
Okay.
Just because people are looking, oh, if we switch, are we going to get a better return? And no, I can't tell you that. But from experience, I can tell you I don't care who you're working with. The return is always about the same based on your risk profile.
Okay.
I mean, it's just what it is.
Okay.
So it's really trying to help the person do better and find little things where you can improve their plan. I mean, Nick and I run into it all the time, and it's about running that comparison report where you could run a plan one way and then show the Roth conversion in the other plan and show a side by side. And what you want to do is prove it out, whether or not you're doing the right thing for them, making them choose by seeing some numbers and making it simple. And we actually, one more quick case I'll tell you about is we had someone come in. The reason why they started working with us was their advisor was just telling them, oh, go do a Roth conversion, but not telling them why. And it's we put it on paper. We're like, yeah, your advisor's telling you the right thing, but you probably don't truly understand why. And it sounded like the advisor was just arbitrarily just picking numbers, whereas we were able to optimize the number and say, hey, you should be converting this amount this year, this amount next year. Then this improves the plan. So yeah, complimentary Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup. That's where someone should start. Yeah. Know your numbers, and then we'll know, are there any tax strategies we can run for you? Our number, 860-854-3434.
Everybody's talking Roths, but is a Roth right for you? Every person has a different case scenario, a different amount of money, a different setup. So the idea of doing the math, like Ken was talking about, it is critical when deciding if a Roth will work for you. Let's get to work doing the numbers, crunching the math to determine if a Roth could benefit you. Again, the number to dial, 860-854-3434. All right. So for so many people, they have worked hard. They have saved. Maybe you have a tax plan. Maybe you have figured things out. And now you're going into retirement and you're not spending any money. Guys, this is a real thing that is happening. According to the Federal Reserve, baby boomers have amassed $76 trillion in net worth. The study also says as they get into retirement, they're just not spending it. An article on moneywise.com says there are 3 reasons why. 1, they want to leave money to their kids and grandkids. 2, they learned to live without big travel and big ticket items during COVID. They just stayed with the saving and not spending plan way of life. Or 3, they fear they will get sick or live too long and run out of money. Of course, that number one fear that all retirees face, running out of money. So is this what you see? And more importantly, how do you help folks in your office, folks that you work with, get out there and enjoy their retirements, spending with confidence?
Oh, man, I do see it a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The good thing is that Tumolo retirement checkup that we build out, it really shows what you can spend, too. So, and I think I brought it up last segment, too, where we do run it at a low percent return, investment return. So we only run it at a 4% return. Someone retiring at, let's say, 65 and they'll live to 90. So we even try to push them out farther, too, with if they have longevity in their family. Like even I had someone come in yesterday. I have them built out to 100 because both their parents actually almost lived to 100, all 4 of them, which is incredible.
Wow, yeah.
So they're both worried about that, and he's still working longer. So there is a lot of factors to it, but what I usually see is, and I know you list off a couple, the other one too is people get into their habits and it's hard to turn on a new habit. So you've done 30, 40 years saving, gone maybe on one trip, done a few things here or there. And what happens is I tell them, oh yeah, what's your goals, aspirations? They're like, oh yeah, we want to travel and do a few things. And they don't. And it's just, they're creatures of habit, and I totally understand that. And I'm like, okay, let's just figure out what's the best way to figure out things where if we're passing on money to kids or making them feel more comfortable in spending too. So like I had a client come in, I think it was about a month ago, and they've been working with me for a few years now, and they've been retired for roughly a year right now. Okay. And they've been only using their Social Security right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't spend a lot, and they're happy with that. Okay. And they came in the other day, and they're like, yeah, money's getting a little tight. And I'm like, you guys have this money here that we're investing for you, and I want them to start spending and enjoying it. And I'm like, look, you can spend up to this amount, and it won't run out till 90. And let's start at this number. Okay. And I've been working out with them for a couple of reviews. Yeah. And finally, last review, they're like, let's start doing $500 a month. when they finally said money was getting a little tight. So I felt like that was a small win for me.
Right? Take the victory.
Yeah. That's where we actually differ from most advisors. I don't like to tell them, oh yeah, don't spend, don't do this, you're going to run out of money. I rather prove it out and have them enjoy it, because you've saved 30, 40 years. It's your money. Yeah. You get to decide what you want to do with it. Yeah. I'm just trying to give you the reassurance that you feel comfortable in spending. I don't care if the accounts go down. I rather see, like I was talking about it yesterday with a client. They went on 5 trips before our 6-month review. And that's what we talked about mostly. It wasn't even about the retirement plan at all. And because I've been working with them for a few years, so they already kind of understand it. We did go over it, of course. But it was majority about the trips. They're so excited about bringing them up that they've been enjoying it. So that's where I get my most enjoyment, just kind of seeing them go on their trips, doing what they want, give them the reassurance to do what they want to do, whether it's going on a trip, even doing Roth conversions, giving them the choice, showing it, proving it out on that Tumolo retirement checkup. Because we've even had some sad cases too, where I'm going to steal my dad's story. He had a client, I think this is about 5 to 8 years ago, and her sister, I think it was, went on a trip overseas, and she thought she didn't have enough money. So she just didn't go on the trip. And what happened was she came in her review a couple months later and told Ken about it. And Ken's like, you could have went on it. You had the money to do it easily. And it was just one of those sad things that a lot of people don't know what they have. And I've seen this a lot. I've had people come in with $2 million, sometimes even people with $500,000, and they think they have to work another 10 more years. And I'm like, no, you, with your lifestyle, you guys can retire in a year. You guys can retire now. And give them that reassurance, or even kind of give them that concept of, oh, I have the choice, is a really great thing. So that's where I think that Tumolo retirement checkup really dials that in for them, gives them that confidence. Because like I said, we build it out more conservative, or kind of closer to that worst case scenario. So when you build out 20, 30 years of 4% return, 4%, hopefully we still keep hitting that at the least in a 30-year period. You never know what can happen in the market, but yeah, that Tumolo retirement checkup, that's where you kind of build out those goals and dreams. So we do that complimentary. Our phone number is 860-854-3434.
What do you want to do in your retirement? Do you want to take that big trip? Do you want to buy that convertible? Do you want to spend all summer at a lake house or a beach house? These are parts of the conversations. This is part of the planning process that goes into a Tumolo Financial Retirement Checkup. Ken and Nick, they don't want to know just how much money you've saved or what your stock investments are. They want to know what your goals are so that they can build out a plan to help you reach those goals in the years ahead. So let's get started on your plan. Again, the number to dial, 860-854-3434. This is a no-fee, no-obligation process, just a space for you to understand where you are, what your options are, and to give you that spending confidence that you deserve in the years ahead. 860-854-3434. All right, guys, final thoughts today.
Know if there are strategies out there that help improve your plan, so it leads to starting with a plan.
Since we're talking about goals, I'd say anyone that's listening and going to call in, before you come in, figure out your goals, figure out your dreams, figure out what you want to do, and let's see if it fits in your retirement. See if you can retire now, see if you have to retire in a couple of years to hit those goals, but that's where I want to start with. So get those goals written down. Let's get to work, and find us at tfcheckup.com or give us a call at 860-854-3434.
Investment advice offered through Tumolo Wealth Management, a Connecticut-registered investment advisor. Content contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice or for the purchase or sale of any security, insurance, or other investment product. Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here.